everybody. Welcome to Vegas Tips and Tricks Podcast number 8. We made it all the way to number 8. We're going to update you on some of the exciting news in the Vegas Tips and Tricks universe. And we're going to talk a little bit in depth today about the Caesars Entertainment properties on the Las Vegas Strip. I've had the opportunity over the last couple of years to stay in each and every one of these hotels. So I thought it might be fun to compare and contrast some of those properties, talk to you about some of my favorites, and some suggestions if you're planning to stay with Caesars Entertainment. And this podcast is most definitely not brought to you by Caesars Entertainment or any of their affiliates, so it's just my opinion. A couple of notes on the YouTube channel. That's right, this very channel. I wanted to thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel. Just this past weekend, we broke the 400 subscriber mark. It seems like it took us a long time to get from 300 to 400, but I'm excited to say we have passed 400 subscribers. Thank you to all of the new subscribers out there. Did want to say, if you've been watching these videos and you haven't subscribed, hey, what's up? Just looking at the statistics, if even 10% of the people that view these videos would go ahead and subscribe to the channel, we would add hundreds and hundreds of subscribers every single month. So consider subscribing. It just lets you know when there's a new video. You can take a look at it. You can say, I don't want to watch that. As a YouTube viewer as well as a YouTube creator, that's what they call it, a creator. I can say that I subscribe to a number of channels because it's just nice to see when there's some new material. And hey, like I said, sometimes you watch it, sometimes you don't. But in addition to the YouTube channel, there are a lot of changes that have been taking place on the website. That is VegasTipsTricks.com. We have been updating the page every single day, adding new material. The section on where to stay, we've updated all of that information. So there is some information on staying downtown, staying off strip, as well as all of the information on the strip hotels. There are 8 separate pages dedicated to all of the strip resorts. So check that out. And now we've been adding some material to the getting there and getting around pages, talking about how to get the best airfares to Las Vegas, how to get around when you get to Las Vegas. And those pages are all going to be continuing to update and fill out over the next several weeks. In addition to that, we're getting ready to start adding material to the what to do when you get there pages, about gambling and shows, restaurants, etc. So I'm hoping, we're recording this, I believe it's November 3rd today. Yeah, November 3rd. I'm hoping by the 1st of December to have at least a basic skeleton in place of all of the material, and then we'll try to make it look pretty and add some video and add some pictures and mess around with the layout, so it's fun and exciting and very professional, unlike everything else we do here. Except that intro. You get that great Vegas Tips and Tricks podcast intro right there. Yeah, so I've been back from Vegas now for over a month now, and starting to get that withdrawal pangs. I know you're saying you go like 3-4 times a year, dude. I'm lucky if I get there once a year, but it's a passion. So I'm starting to look at some dates and hotels and airfare for first part of next year. Might be waiting until February, so that means even more remixes and reboots and fun videos that I'm going to do, as well as more podcast videos, because we're simply going to run out of new material. Yeah, I tell you that right after I tell you better subscribe. But no, there's going to be some good stuff. But anyway, going forward, that's what's on the agenda. So today, I wanted to start talking about the Caesars Entertainment properties on the Las Vegas Strip, along with the lovely folks at MGM and their M Life properties. Caesars Entertainment is one of the 2 largest casino groups on the Las Vegas Strip. In addition to 8 hotels on the Strip, they also have an off-Strip property called the Rio, which I'm sure you've heard of. I have stayed there in the past. I haven't stayed there in the last couple of years. There continue to be rumors that Caesars is trying to sell the Rio, and I think I tend to believe those rumors. I think the only question there is whether someone will meet their asking price. It's always been a great property, great big rooms, a fun, exciting casino. Last couple of years, it's kind of tailed off a bit. So I'm hoping that either Caesars will put some money into that or they'll sell it to someone who will, because it's a great property and I think it's a good location there by Palms and the Gold Coast. But what we're going to be focusing on for this podcast, and I think probably at least part of the next podcast, are the properties that Caesars has on the Las Vegas Strip, starting of course with Caesars Palace, that massive complex of buildings and towers and shops and restaurants that seems to go on forever because, well, it may actually go on forever. I'm not sure I've ever reached the end of it. But in addition, Caesars also owns a number of properties all right next to one another across the street, starting with the Harrah's property and then the Link location that used to be the Imperial Palace, if you haven't been to Las Vegas in a couple of years, the Flamingo Hotel, the Cromwell Hotel, and then across Flamingo Road, you also have Bally's, Paris, and Planet Hollywood. With the exception of the Cromwell, which definitely caters to a little more of an upscale crowd, maybe a younger sort of party-oriented crowd, all of these hotels are pretty reasonably priced. I won't call them budget properties, some of them are, but they're certainly not at the level of, say, an Aria or a Bellagio or maybe even a Mandalay Bay or Mirage. So Caesars clearly trying to appeal to a more middle-class, working-class customer with these properties. And many of them are a pretty good value. In addition, if you play at all with Caesars on their Total Rewards card, it is pretty easy to get free rooms, particularly at some of the lower end properties like, say, Harrah's, Flamingo, Bally's, and Rio as well, even if you don't play very much, particularly if you're staying, say, during the week or during a slow time. One of the reasons that I have stayed at so many of these properties over the past couple of years is because due to a lot of poor judgment and excessive gambling, both in Las Vegas and at a local Harrah's casino, I was elevated a couple of years ago to the diamond level on their Total Rewards card, which means in addition to getting to cut some lines and some additional bonuses like that, also means I don't have to pay a resort fee. So while it might be fairly easy for me to stay at the Excalibur or Luxor or New York or some of those M-Life properties, I would still have to be paying them $30 or $40 a night in resort fees, which kind of ruins the whole free part. At least it does for me. So I've been able to stay at all these properties and not pay them a cent, except for the hundreds and hundreds of dollars I've left in their machines, of course. As I always say, there are no free rooms in Las Vegas, there are comped rooms. And you get comped based on, well, you get comped based on how much you play, but in the long run, if you play, you will almost certainly lose. So, again, I've stayed at all these properties: Planet Hollywood, Paris, Bally's, Cromwell, Flamingo, Link, Harrah's, and Caesars, all within the last couple of years. So, just in terms of what to expect, obviously the nicest property of all of them is going to be Caesars Palace. But that doesn't mean that all of the rooms at Caesars Palace are necessarily rooms you are going to go, wow, what a great place. Some of the older towers, the rooms are fairly small, but if you do get a room, I stayed in the Octavius Tower. There's a video of that. If you go down far enough on this page, you can see what it looked like. Those rooms look very much like the rooms in the Augustus Tower, and then they've just recently remodeled the rooms in their Palace Tower. All three of those towers, I mean, those are really, really nice rooms. So I cannot say enough nice things about the quality of the hotel at Caesars Palace, at least those towers. But I will say there were some things about Caesars that I didn't like and that I don't like. They've got a huge casino sprawling all over the place, and I've never had a dime's worth of luck in that place. Now, of course, some of that is just me, and you might go to Caesars Palace and have great luck, but there is an element of that, superstition though it may be. Caesars doesn't feel like it's a very lucky place to me. And it would make a certain amount of sense, you know, sort of the nicer the hotel, the more amenities, the less it's willing to pay back on their machines. You've got to make your money somewhere along the way and pay for all those attractions. That being said, Caesars has an enormous number of high quality restaurants. I just did a video from Hell's Kitchen, great place to eat. Eating at Mesa Grill there, which is wonderful food. Their buffet is terrific, and there are, probably a dozen high-quality restaurants at Caesars that I have not tried, but you walk by them and you think immediately, I think I would like to try this place, and you hear good things. So Caesars has great restaurants, great rooms, it's a beautiful hotel, but it's not a very lucky place, at least it hasn't been for me. And the other thing I don't like about Caesars Palace is it's just so big. Trying to get from your room to the street to any other hotel in town is a job. It's a task. And as someone that likes to go from hotel to hotel to hotel, Caesars Palace is probably not the best choice for me. One of the reasons I enjoy staying downtown, but it's also one of the reasons I enjoy staying across the street. Hey, how about that for a segue, as they call it? The hotels on the other side of the street are all very close together, particularly the group from Harrah's down to Cromwell. You can walk from one end to the other in, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes tops. So if you're not having any luck at the Harrah's Casino, you can go over to the Link, or you can go to Flamingo, or you can go to Cromwell. And even the 3 casinos further down the street are just a short hop, skip, and jump across Flamingo Road, Bally's, which is linked to Paris, and Paris, which is pretty much right next to Planet Hollywood. So it's easy to go from place to place, and the beautiful thing is, if you're trying to earn points on your Total Rewards card, it works at all those casinos. It doesn't matter where you play, it all goes into the same pot. So that's a nice piece. Caesars may be the nicest hotel in the Caesars entertainment group properties, but the hotel I tend to recommend to people, particularly to first-time visitors, and I'll recommend it to each of you, is Bally's. Bally's is a very, very nice hotel for a very, very reasonable price. Typically it goes for around the same price you get at Flamingo or Harrah's, and I think the rooms are much nicer at Bally's. Bally's does not maybe have as nice a pool. I find the casino a little boring. There's not a lot of good food on site, or just not a lot of variety of food on site compared to, say, Paris or Planet Hollywood next door. But I stayed in the Jubilee Tower a couple of years ago. Again, there's another one of those room videos. It's way down there though, so. And I thought it was a terrific room, big, spacious, fridge, coffee maker, little wet bar, sink area, nice view, comfortable bed. They have recently remodeled what was the Indigo Tower. I believe it's now known as the Resort Tower. And just looking at video and photographs, they've done it very much in the same style as the Jubilee Tower, with the same amenities. And again, just a great deal. So, and it's right there, Center Strip, right across the street from Cromwell, Caesars, and Bellagio, each of which will charge you a pretty penny to stay on that corner, whereas Bally's is still a terrific deal. So, while the restaurants are not great, while the casino to me is a little boring, maybe you like it. It's a little more quiet, relaxed. that is the choice that I usually suggest to people when they go to Las Vegas and say, hey, I'm on a budget, I want to go to Vegas, I want to see everything, where should I stay? Bally's is my pick. I may stay there again on my next trip, certainly on the short list. I'll talk about one more property today, and I will also let you know that in addition to just kind of keeping you up to date on what's going on the web page, if you go to Vegas Tips Tricks /blog, you can also see some additional Caesars entertainment information. I'm going to make some lists of best hotels, best restaurants, best casinos, or maybe I should say favorite, because everybody has a different definition of best. But I'm going to talk about those coming up over the next couple of weeks as well on the blog, so you'll want to check that out. But I have to say maybe my favorite all-around Caesars property is Planet Hollywood. It has I think an excellent location. You're still close enough to check out all of the hotels north of there in the Caesars group, but you're also right across the street from Cosmopolitan and City Center, so you can check out all of those fabulous properties there, and you're not very far from the South Strip either. In addition to a number of good restaurants on site, you also have a lot of inexpensive food options there at the Miracle Mile shops. So that's something worth checking out. If you just want to grab a bite, sometimes it's hard to find a place just to get a sandwich or a burger or something. And that's not so much the case at Planet Hollywood. I think the rooms are very nice. They've all been remodeled. I think probably a couple years ago is when they finished the remodel process. Nice big bathrooms, big soaking tubs, and hey, you know, I love a good soaking tub. And I think some of you do too, privately, when you don't talk to me. It's hard to find a tub. Rooms, mini fridge, which I love having a mini fridge. We'll talk about that again on the next podcast. But little mini fridge, little coffee maker, just very comfortable. And I love the casino there. I think it's just got a tremendous amount of energy. It's a little loud. It's got a lot of traffic through it, but I think it's a great place to watch people and just hang out and play. So that's sort of my pick as sort of the best combination of value and quality and location. So anyway, Caesars Palace if you want the very best and you don't mind losing. Bally's if you want a great value in a great location. And finally, Planet Hollywood if you just want a great combination of a fun casino, nice rooms at a decent price, lots of things to do, lots of places to eat. That's the place to check out. So anyway, that's going to be wrapping up part one of our Caesars Entertainment wrap-up. Next time we'll talk about some of the casinos we didn't talk about this time. And I'll give you some of my favorites and least favorites among those as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you have not subscribed, please do. Please like this video. Please tell all your friends. No, I don't have any friends, but if you have friends, tell them, please, to check out the podcast, check out the channel. And as always, have a great day. Thank you so much for watching.